You're hunting something that can't be killed.
Predator Badlands, the newest film in the Predator franchise after the animated anthology Predator, Killer of Killers that is available now on streaming, and 2022's Prey. Watch my review, please. Just don't be weird about Amber Mid-Thunder. Someone really was. It was very uncomfortable, but still, watch my review for that. If you want a quick review of Killer of Killers, I thought it was fantastic. Short, sweet, to the point, gorgeously animated with some great action, well-designed Yautjas, and fun characters. It's definitely worth a watch if you haven't, and it sets up future installments in a way that has me genuinely excited for the future. Badlands honestly kind of does the same thing, now that I'm thinking about it. Man, Predator fans are eating well this year for some reason. That and Alien fans too. I mean, you had Alien Romulus, now you have Alien Earth out there. So many great entries into these properties lately, and even a seemingly very likely new entry into the Alien vs. Predator franchise somewhere in the future. It's a good time to be a sci-fi monster fan. Of course, just because it exists doesn't necessarily mean that it's good, and Badlands certainly has a lot going against it, what with the PG-13 rating and the switch from horror to action-adventure and a bit of a buddy comedy also thrown in there, but it did also have the largest opening weekend of any Predator film before it, so is it actually any good? I think a lot of that answer depends on what you expect going into it. Yes, this movie is nothing close to a horror film like most of its predecessors. The Predator himself is now the protagonist, and the film kind of turns this into a coming-of-age action-adventure film with some comedic bits with his found companions, things like that. If you want scary stuff, you won't find them here at all. This movie exists to further the Yautja's lore and background as a species. It touches on the culture, family, and expectations of the race. It doesn't quite dive as deep as I would prefer it would, but hey, it's there. So go in knowing that, and I think you should be prepped just fine. Also, don't worry about the PG-13 rating, even though this is the first Predator film to be rated less than an R. Even the animated film is rated R. This movie is still just as violent and gory. The only difference is, because there are no humans in the movie at all the gore is either a color other than red, and it comes from alien monsters or the Predator himself, or is violence against robots with white milky fluid instead. So you get a whole bunch of colors except red. You get green, orange, I think one of them has blue. Honestly, it's quite funny that is the case. This film is still full of insane violence, like decapitations, amputations, smashing, and all this violence. Think John Wick, but with aliens and alien weapons. Get an idea there? As usual though, I am getting way ahead of myself. So is this movie even any good? If it's not scary, who cares? What is this movie even about? Predator Badlands follows an odd-looking young Yautja named Dek. He's the runt of his clan and is desperate to prove himself in order to achieve his franchise-famous camouflage invisibility cloak. To do so, he has to choose a prey item and hunt it down. He picks an alien monster on a distant planet that's been labeled a, quote, death planet, and starts his hunt. Along the way, he meets a Weyland-Yutani android named Thia, and the two must work together to achieve their differing goals. If you caught that name, Weyland-Yutani, then you are correct. This movie firmly ties itself intrinsically with the Alien Xenomorph franchise for good with that. Combine that and the fact that the director and Alien Romulus's director, watch my review for Alien Romulus as well, have publicly stated that they want to coordinate an AVP film, and combine that with the current success both franchises are seeing, and that AVP revival is an almost guaranteed possibility. It's more than likely coming in the next few years. Getting back on track here, Badlands ultimately has a lot working for it, even with the negatives surrounding it. It's an alien planet with alien monsters and creatures. That's just inherently exciting, even if a lot of it seems very close to Earth because this was shot in New Zealand, but still. The action is extremely solid, very well choreographed, and very, very well executed. Pun intended. Especially in the latter half of the film. If you don't care about the franchise, the action itself is more than enough to get you into your seat and leave you satisfied. There's a ton of it. It utilizes the alienness of the planet in some really fun ways, from vine monsters to literal blades of grass to exploding lavender-like plant pods to other things in the environment. There's just so many things here. The creativity is on full display and it's a lot of fun. I do kind of wish that we saw more of the Yautja's home planet and dived a bit further into their culture, but I think that's being saved for the next film. The movie doesn't have a post-credit scene, but it does include a stinger setting up a brand new exploration into the franchise that has me genuinely excited where it will go, with promises of further Yautja exploration. Just what I wanted. I just gotta wait for another movie. The characters are also really fun. I've seen some people complaining that Dek's design looks weird, but I would argue that, hey, he's supposed to look like that. He's a runt. He's younger and strange and meant to look less intimidating than all of the other Yautjas. That's the whole plot of the movie. Kind of an ugly duckling scenario a little bit. Dek is played by Demetrius Matangi, sorry if I mispronounced that, in only his second theatrical debut. He also speaks the Yautja's language, surprisingly enough.
Yeah, I did learn Yautja. Alright, let me think.
And I guess is now considered a creature actor, like my friend Alan Maxon. Check out my interview with him over here. Demetrius wore a practical Dek suit with only his face being CGI in order to have the Yautja's iconic mandibles moving about and such as he speaks. Honestly, it's really damn cool, and the CG is pretty flawless, all things considered. I love the mix of practical and CG. If you have to use CG, gotta mix some practicality in there, and it just looks really good. The suit itself looks extremely solid for the most part, although that human-like gait in some scenes is slightly distracting, especially whenever he's walking inside his ship. It's just too human, but that's just how Yautjas are designed, so more of a nitpick than a complaint there. His android companion Thia is played by Elle Fanning, who actually plays double duty in this movie. She also plays another android with the same design named Tessa. It's really cool to see her not only interact with herself, but with Dek in various different ways. She's a little too spunky at first though, if I had to complain about it, and it certainly is strange that a Weyland-Yutani droid would have the Yautja language installed somehow, but whatever, that's not Fanning's fault, and it's needed for the story anyway. So, bleh. She is a lot of fun and is a very needed companion for the audience to help humanize Dek a little bit. Maybe they go a little bit too far in that regard, but still. Even though Fanning spends most of the movie without her legs and strapped to Dek's back, she also has quite a bit to do physically, and her stunt work, when you see it, is really enjoyable. Again, especially in the latter half of the movie. She's just fun overall, and I think she does a really good job with this character. She's just fun to watch all around. Lastly, I want to point out Cameron Brown as all of the other droids known as drones. They don't actually have names. It is very, very funny that this film has such a small cast because its characters are either aliens or robot replicants that all look the same. They definitely saved on the casting budget there, but he's pretty fun when he shows up, and his physicality for the action bits is also very well done. Also, just a quick side here, hey, the Duffer Brothers show up as voice cameos too. That's interesting, I guess. Stranger Things 5 is out this year, so sure. Without them, the cast is just 8 people, so that's still very funny. Of course, though, the movie is not without its flaws. It is a lot of fun, but it does misstep at least a few times. The biggest issue I have is the pacing. The movie never really wants to slow down. All of the action bits are fun and feel lengthy and weighty, but the moments in between them feel like tacked on jokes or are just way too short to really let the emotions weigh in. There's nothing that I didn't understand motivation-wise, but some more time to let things breathe would have been nice. Plus, I just like looking at this alien planet. Just the backgrounds and everything are gorgeous. I know it's mostly New Zealand, but it has CG bits tacked onto it like giant monsters in the background here and there, but still, it's just cool. I like looking at these cool things and being able to breathe a little bit and feel for what Dek is feeling, or maybe exploring his past, I feel would have gone a long way. Speaking of, I also think the movie really needed to explore the Yautja planet and culture a bit more. We are there for a little bit in the very beginning, but we don't really explore it at all. We get to see one area and that's it. We get told some tidbits about Yautja culture, and we get to see some fun predator gadgets and hunting equipment, which is also a staple for the franchise, but there's just not enough, in my opinion. I feel like maybe if it included a montage sequence, or maybe a flashback at the start of the movie, or maybe even in the middle when Dek is reminiscing or something, that could have worked. For example, maybe showing Dek being born into the clan and how the others treated him from a young age, how he trained and tried to survive. Maybe we get some bits and pieces of that. I feel there's a lot to explore there. I don't think we've ever seen a Yautja child, so that could be fun, but there's nothing that feels very fleshed out here. We see his relationship with his brother, kind of his relationship with his father, and then we even get some teases like this childhood toy, apparently, that chipped Dek's fang, but nothing else about it. They kind of interact, he interacts with his dad, and then boom, we're off on this planet. If I were to improve the film, I think I would definitely need to explore all of the Predator Yautja bit just a little more. I'd throw in more flashback scenes, maybe sprinkle them throughout the film to show how he feels about his brother, maybe getting flashbacks to how they grew up. That could be useful. It's been done before, but it's effective. Maybe we could use it as a sort of motivation for him to keep going and to complete his hunt. I don't know. The movie does end with a promise to explore the Yautja culture more, and some genuinely exciting lines that do make me extremely hyped for the sequel, but it is frustrating when at least some of them could have been explored in this movie, and you wouldn't have lost anything. The movie would have been a little bit longer, but it's pretty short as it is, so I don't think that would have been an issue. Like I said, we do get a little bit, but it's essentially just cliff notes, and they're not very direct. They tell you what you need to know and refuse to elaborate and just say, have fun, see ya. I hope it gets addressed in the next film. That is almost certainly going to happen, or maybe in Killer of Killers 2, which I'm pretty sure is getting a sequel as well, so that's something. Overall, I think Predator Badlands is a great movie. It is a ton of fun, it's action-packed, and has just enough heart to win the audience over if they're struggling. It's not even close to horror anymore, but I do like this action-orientated direction it's going down instead. I mean, who's gonna say no to John Wick in space? John Wick is a predator now. Why not? Let's get Keanu Reeves in here. Hell yeah. I will say, I think Killer of Killers is the better film, stylistically. But it is hard to compare when one is live action and the other is an animated anthology. They're very different movies. They're both worth a watch though, and they both tie into each other, and more than likely will have amazing things in the future. So this franchise is definitely one to watch if you haven't already, along with the Alien franchise. I haven't seen Alien Earth yet, but I'm gonna check it out. The writer-director here, Dan Trachtenberg, clearly loves what he's doing, and the Yautja universe as a whole, so good luck to him and his future projects. I'm excited. He really hasn't had a misstep at all with the Predators yet, so give this one, Prey, and Killer of Killers a watch. So ultimately, Predator Badlands gets an 8 out of 10 from me. Hey guys, thanks for sticking around for another one. Yeah, I've always liked Alien. and Predator. I can't remember which AVP I've seen. I think I've seen both of them. I very much remember the ending to Requiem, but I don't really remember too much about the first one. I still haven't seen Alien Earth. It's on my list, and I'll get to it eventually, probably before the year's out, but who knows? I've got all of these other things I'm trying to watch too. Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein just dropped, but all of these other movies are coming out, so I have to try and watch those and balance everything else. Oh my god, and it's such a long one too. Ugh, but Keeper is out this weekend, and it seems really good and creepy and intense, so that should be fun. Who knows? I don't know. All of this stuff is fun, and I like the direction it's going. I feel like following the Predator culture is extremely interesting. I want to learn so much more about this culture and the planet and how they work as a species. They kind of seem like Krogan in that sense. Who here's played Mass Effect? But they're still really interesting. I don't think being a horror film suits Predator anymore. It was good to introduce them as horror, but now they're kind of their own thing, and now we have them as protagonists, so very, very humanized at this point. So kind of just have to lean into it. I don't know, what did you guys think? Did you like this movie? Do you prefer it to be horror, or do you want the franchise to go somewhere else? What about AVP3? Are you excited for that? Let me know in the comments below. After that, don't forget to like this video, subscribe, ring that bell so you don't miss a video, and yeah, that's it. Have a great day, and if you're not, have a better one. See ya.
I'm just a ghost in your stereo. The fading memory of a shipwreck in the undertow. You're just a lost song on your own. And I'm just a ghost in your stereo.